bullet.
On all your Cowboy Action stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we do them all ourselves. We make all. And the bear loads are, I won't do this during the thing.
Out of the, like, 10 millimeters?
Yeah.
That's all. That would be a fantastic, like that to me, because, you know, so Gun Talk launched the GT25, which is actually kind of actually it's year 27, but it's awesome. So, all right. Hey, here we are. We are live from the National Association of Sporting Goods Wholesalers, and today with me right now, this is actually this is a Guns and Gear Live because we're featuring a lot of new products from HSM Ammo and Boyd Metz. Boyd, how you doing?
I'm fine, KJ. Glad to be here. Good to be with you. Good to be at the show. It's we've all kind of been, how should I say, cooped up.
That's exactly what I was going for. We've kind of been pinned in, and you know, right now is an interesting time for our industry.
Oh gosh.
And I know we wanted to touch on a little bit about that, but before we get into the industry, let's talk a little bit about HSM, because it's been in business since 1968, yet I still find people, surprisingly, who aren't aware of HSM.
I hate to use a cliche, but I guess we like to believe we're the best kept secret in the industry.
Right.
But
we don't need to keep it a secret.
No, I know. But truthfully, with what's going on in the world and the industry right now, it's real difficult for us to try and enlarge our presence by these types of get-togethers.
Right.
We can't enlarge it with product because we're maxed out in our product production.
Okay.
Simple as that. I mean, we can't work the people till they can't work anymore.
Right.
Or we run out of components. And like I said to you earlier, the component business and the availability of components, pricing is one of the factors, but the availability, it's like you going to the store and not being able to find TP on the shelf.
Right. So
and
you guys are dealing with the same thing as far as like components, primers, casings, all that good stuff.
And the cost, the metal cost have just gone crazy. And I think people have seen this in their own purchases of, I don't know, whether it be a bathroom fixture or whatever. Everything's just going. But we've tried to keep a presence. At this point in time today, we're not introducing any new products. We're just trying to keep up as much as possible with our existing products.
You're just trying to keep running, just trying to keep those products out the door, because here's what's happened. And this happens across the board, whether it's social media, whether it's our news, whatever it is, we have become a society of I want it now.
Yeah. Instant gratification.
Right, exactly. And so that's the way we normally deal with it. If I want something from the store, I'll go to the store and buy it, and it'll be here the next day. Or I'll buy online or at one of the big giant, manufacturer distributors, and it should be there within 2 days. And if it's not, now we get mad.
Yeah.
And now with ammo, what are you seeing as far as like purchasing? Like, are we getting used to where it's going to be, or do you think that's going to come down any, or where are we at?
I think what's happened, some of the commodity ammunitions, the full metal jacket ammunitions, have started to catch up because there's worldwide manufacturing with regard to these products that are military usage products.
Right.
The ammo plants that make for the military, they've been able to ramp up their production a little bit. But in the hunting aspect of things and in general sports shooting, it's been extremely difficult, and it's been very frustrating for the consumer.
Yeah.
And what we see happening, people, the big question in our industry is, well, when's this going to be over? Well,
is there an end in sight?
Yeah. Is there an end in sight? And like you said earlier, if you knew when it was going to be over, or if you had an insight like that, you'd have bought Apple stock before.
Oh, 100%. I mean, and because the feeling that I'm getting at the show is there are folks that they didn't prepare for this. They just got lucky. And they're not introducing a whole lot of new stuff, which is fine, but they're just trying to keep up with their current production model.
That's the thing about it. I mean, it's just difficult. And you don't want the customer to become frustrated. I mean,
right.
As I said, I get on here and I talk and I say, how great this product is. Well, what's he doing?
Where can I find it?
Where can I find it? Well, Midway, Sportsman's Warehouse, Cabela's Bass Pro. And he walks in and it's not there. And he goes, well, that you know what told me that this is a product.
Boyd said it would be here.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just, we try and be careful with what we've done and not over-advertise, but
Right.
try and make people aware of the situation.
Right.
And I think people are more aware of it because of this going on, not only in ammunition products, but in products in general.
Right.
I mean, all the touting about, you're not going to get your Christmas present, KJ, because it's on a boat out in the water someplace.
Well, unless you ordered it 6-7 months down the road,
Yeah.
and unfortunately that's kind of the time that we're in, and I
Yes.
hate to see it, but you guys are a Montana-based company,
Correct.
and how's the production going? I mean, are you guys are running?
We're running
24 as much as you can.
We're running full daily shifts, and as I
Right.
said before, we can't destroy our help's health
Right.
by overworking him. I don't think you can go anywhere that you don't see a help wanted sign,
That's true.
and we're a victim of that just the same as everyone else that has a sign out there. So we've tried to, and successfully in some areas, automate and bring in some machinery, not to replace a person, but just to give us that person to do something else.
Just add to it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the machinery, the equipment we bought has been an addition to our production capability while still keeping that person working.
Right.
But it's difficult, and I tell you, it's frustrating because a situation of having orders, having requests, having people contact you.
Yeah. Because it's in demand.
Oh, it's in demand,
I mean-
and it's not as available.
Right.
And the only thing that we think is going to happen is everyone, I'll give you my insight or my opinion for whatever it's worth, they ask the length of the term of this situation. And I think the guy that waits 2 weeks before hunting season goes into the store, wants to buy a box of 30-30s or 30-06
Right.
ammunition, and he does one of these, and he's stunned. There's nothing. So he goes to store A, then he goes to store B, and he
Yep.
goes to store C, and he has this same thing happening
Yeah.
in each and every one of the stores.
And it's always funny to see those guys, Boyd, because what I see on those guys, because a long, long time ago, I used to be that kid who'd go in there and I had my certain, okay, this is what I want. So you've got your top tier and that's what you're going after. And then all of a sudden you go, yeah, it's not there.
No.
Then you go, all right, I'll go with my second choice. You go in there and you look and it's not there.
No.
And now all of a sudden you're getting you're back up against a wall. And we talked a little bit about this earlier in early season preparation.
Right.
These guys need to be shooting now and sighting in processes. And let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think it's important. First of all, the guy that picks up the gun to go deer hunting once a year, he may be successful, but not near as successful as he could be.
Right.
Practice, they say the 10,000 reps, and I'm not suggesting they shoot
All
10,000
right,
rounds.
I'm going to need
but
12,000 rounds of ammo, right?
yeah, but still in all, to make a good humane kill and to get the trophy deer that you see, you need to get out and practice. And that's been one of the problems with ammunition is the guy waits, he gets his box of 30-30s, he gets out to the range, he shoots 2 shots, he hit the target, and
And
now
it's good.
now he's ready to go, but he's not really ready to go.
Right.
The target's standing there. The target's 60 yards away. It's not
Yeah.
120 yards running.
Right.
So, the whole dynamic of shooting changes as the situation changes. So,
Because that's down there, it's a beating heart, it's a brain, and it's got movement. I mean,
That's
so
right.
so it can think for itself. Targets don't do that.
no. So we say to the guy, practice. Go to the range. You don't have to shoot 10 boxes of ammunition, but shoot a box of ammunition
Yeah.
before you go out and hunt. It's going to make you a better shot, and therefore it's going to make you a better hunter
Yeah.
and a more humane kill on the animal and everything. And
Everybody has a better experience.
everyone has a better experience. And along those lines, the thing that's most concerning when they ask about, I'm digressing, they ask about how long this is going to run. What happens is he couldn't find that 30-30 ammo this year.
Right.
So come spring, if we start to catch up a little bit and we get ammo on the shelf and there's 10 boxes on the shelf and he walks in the store, he's not going to buy 1 box.
He's going to buy 10.
He's going to buy 10 boxes because he says, I don't want this to happen
he remembers.
to me.
He has that long-term memory going on.
I don't want this to happen to me again. So that's going to add to the factor of the continuation of what we call this craziness in our business. And I think, once again, this happened with TP.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, there's a lot of people that have enough toilet paper for the next 10 years in their basement.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly right.
They couldn't find it, but when they saw it, they took it all.
And so just going back to our, we'll shoot a box of ammo when you go out to practice. There's reason why it's not, Boyd's, and I don't think I'm recommending just go out, shoot a box of ammo from a bench. Mm-hmm. Practice those different shooting positions a couple shots. Get comfortable with that. Practice another shooting position. I mean, I think when guys go out to the range, they think, well, okay, I'm going out to the range. I'm just going to sight in my rifle. We'll take shots from seated positions with a shooting rest. Take some prone shots. And that will give you, once you run through a full box of ammo, now all of a sudden you've hit all the positions standing. Right. Offhand shots. I don't practice offhand shots enough.
And that's a big mistake because, first of all, statistics say that somewhere around 96% of the deer that are shot, which is one of the major big game animals in America that's hunted and shot, are shot within a 100-yard range.
Right.
Secondly, most of them are moving. And even if they are standing, you don't have an opportunity. You're standing in the middle of a field.
Yeah.
What are you going to lean on? You don't have anything to lean on, so you better be able to hold the rifle at least steady enough to get a good shot off.
You better brush up. Well, speaking of that, let's talk about, we've got Tipping Point over there, which was launched a couple years ago that you guys launched out. Talk a little bit about what we got in front of us.
Well, Tipping Point we put together with a Sierra bullet that they called a game changer that came out. Mm-hmm. And an excellent bullet, and we found it to be a really good performing bullet ballistically. So we built that product. And the bear load. Well, the bear load. This is kind of we call it a bear load because it became very popular with the guides up in the bear country up north. But it's also excellent for deer. It's a cast bullet with a copper base on it.
Okay.
And velocities and performance are just outstanding. We have some testimonials where the guide was carrying one.
Yeah.
One of the guys recently, within the past 6 months, the bear had a hold of his leg.
Oh, the bear had him.
He was able to get the .44 Magnum out of his shoulder holster and fire one shot where the bear very promptly let go of him.
He released
him, walked away, and the Game Commission found it the next day.
Really?
Yeah. So it's a good load.
Woo. The Cowboy Action.
Cowboy Action. We service the cowboy shooting marketplace, but it's a good practice bullet.
Yeah.
And if the guy wants to go out and plink, and there's a lot of plinkers, you want to shoot plates or something, it's a good round for that.
The bear load is also offered. I just want to touch on this real quick. The bear load is offered in 10 millimeter too, right?
It's offered in 10 millimeter, and interesting enough, one of the biggest selling cartridges that we offer that in is the 4570.
Really?
Now this is a cartridge that goes back to post Civil War times,
right? And
the Springfield trapdoor rifles, but the lever action guns, the guides carry them, the little short Marlin guns.
Yeah.
Now the company Marlin's owned by Ruger, and they're going to bring out the little lever guns again.
They are.
And it's just a super performing. I wouldn't want to shoot an elephant, but I think you could.
I probably could. But I'm just saying, just a shameless plug, if you've got a GT25, say, in 10 millimeter that you just picked up, there's some 10 millimeter ammo here for. So
and we
just a shameless plug here.
I'll tell you what, in the line of bear loads, it's the number 3 bestseller since we brought it out, the 10 millimeter.
Really?
And I can remember years ago when that caliber was brought out. Fact of the matter is, the FBI adopted it for a short period of time in a semi-automatic pistol that weighed about 9 pounds, I think. An FBI agent showed up one day at my office and said, I want to show you the new gun. I said, okay. So we go out and he pulls back, and he wasn't of great stature. And I said, where's the other person? He said, what do you mean? I said, surely you have a gun bearer to carry that thing. Well, the FBI,
a little Sherpa running around with you.
The FBI carried that gun or used that gun. I can't remember the exact model, but they used that for, I think, about 6 months.
Yeah.
The female officers, there was no place to conceal it. It was too big. The female officers, it wouldn't fit in their purse or anything.
Well, it's such a heavier gun. It's
such a heavier gun.
Difficult for most people to control.
Yeah, that's when they adopted another cartridge.
Right, and then Trophy Gold.
Burger bullets, known for excellent accuracy. Mm-hmm. And this particular variety of Burger bullet is designed to give good penetration and expansion in our Trophy Gold. And we're not, I say we're not, but I don't necessarily advocate the 2,000-yard shots. I mean, it's
Boyd, you and I have more in common than you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've shot deer at around 500 yards, and that's the limit of my shooting capability as far as I'm concerned. And for the most part, that's really the limit of my gun.
Your comfort level.
Yeah,
right? I mean,
I just don't feel good beyond that.
But if the guys know Burger, they know that's what they're getting is performance downrange, longer distances, and that's really what it's designed for.
They brought this bullet and its reputation to the forefront.
Yes.
And we've been doing business, and for the longest time, we were the exclusive person loading their hunting bullet, which was redesigned. The jacketing material and everything was redesigned.
Yeah. Now, recently my favorite, and you know this because I've shot this a lot, and actually my son has shot this, and he absolutely loves it, is your low recoil.
Yeah.
And it's massive. So 53% less felt recoil.
On average, right across the board, that's where it stands. And, we make it in the different calibers. My favorite caliber is .243.
Okay. See, I'm the 6.5 Creedmoor guy.
Well, yeah, but that's a recent addition.
Right.
I mean, that was our last year edition, the 6.5 Creedmoor. And fortunately, I shot 2 deer last year with the 6.5 Creedmoor and low recoil, the farthest one being 257 measured yards at a running deer. So but I'll admit it was my third shot.
Okay.
It was bang, oh shucks, bang, oh shucks, bang.
You were just giving him a sporting chance.
Well, I like to think that's
what you were doing. I mean,
what I was doing.
You're just giving him a warning shot.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, you have a running start now.
But the product just works wonderful, and we have it in a variety of calibers. And I think early on, wasn't it you that did the 300 Win Mag test to show the difference in the muzzle raise?
Yep, we did that.
And it was obviously 50% less.
At least.
Yeah.
So it was on Guns and Gear.
Right.
We were at Camp Villery shooting it, and that was when. So we had a profile of Ryan shooting my 300 Win Mag. And on the first shot, and he held the gun exactly the same. There was no, he wasn't leaning more into it. We were like, hey, you have to stand like this. Exactly, because we had to marry the two videos together to show the differences. And it was at least 50% or more.
We just spoke with Jim Shepard a while ago, and we talked about I talk about the flinch factor.
Yep.
Well, obviously, if you're shooting at a running deer, your pucker factor is already up.
Yes.
So you don't notice your flinch factor.
Right.
But if you go out and sit down beforehand, you've gone out and sat on the bench or stood or whatever, you feel recoil.
Oh, 100% you feel it.
I'm old. I don't like recoil anymore.
Especially after a box of ammo, and especially in your 300 Win Mags. And, and a lot of the larger calibers. Granted, 243 and a 6.5 Creedmoor aren't that much recoil, but if you can get, let's say kids, if you can eliminate, because I'm by far too far gone on the flinch factor, but if I can utilize the low recoil to mitigate that recoil and to eliminate their jerking the trigger or their flinch, if I can eliminate that by starting them out on low recoil, they're set for life.
I think the most important thing is to give them a comfort factor so they
Yes.
enjoy shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, they call it the shooting sports.
Yes.
So
Should be fun.
it should be fun. I mean, it shouldn't be abusive. It shouldn't be painful. And the kids shouldn't think, oh, no, is Dad going to make me do this again?
Do I have to? Well, and on that point, that's a good point you bring up, because a lot of times, like, deer just don't sit there and they're just not framed up just perfectly. And if a kid is hesitant to shoot, man, that's a big disheartening moment for them.
Yeah. He has that. It's not necessarily muscle memory, but it's just memory in general of, boy, this thing's going to just slap me on the side of my face, slap me on my arm. And immediately it goes from an exciting hunt to this isn't going to be much fun.
Oh, I remember it vividly. My dad would take me out, and it was a 270, and we'd just go out and target practice. I dreaded shooting it.
Yeah.
Because it was just a hammer for me when I was 7 or 8 years old. I did not appreciate that gun.
No.
Now nowadays I wouldn't mind it, but at a young age to start kids out right, low recoil is a great way to do that.
Right. Now that we've looked at the products, if I might editorialize non-politically for a moment, we all enjoy this, as evidenced by the people that are here, even though this is a pure industry show. But it's real important to remember the Second Amendment for everyone.
Yes.
The importance of the Second Amendment. It's being challenged. Hopefully the Supreme Court's decision will slap down a few of the other states that have made poor decisions, I think.
Yes.
And as I said, it's not a political point of view. It's a common sense point of view. That the Founding Fathers, and everybody says, well, they didn't know what an AR was. They had muzzle loaders. But the Founding Fathers, when they knew that they wanted free speech, the First Amendment, they knew that there had to be a means to protect it, i.e. the Second Amendment. So
it's an important
all
factor.
of you people listening or looking out there, whether it's your local gun club, whether it's a national organization, whatever, try and support it, because if you enjoy shooting, hunting, and you don't have to enjoy hunting, if you just enjoy going out and plinking and shooting, it's like a golf game. I always say the bullet's like a golf ball. There's no one there helping you. It's not a team sport.
Right.
It's an individual sport. So go out, enjoy it, enjoy the outdoors, particularly in these times that we've gone through. People have cabin fever, myself included.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing like getting out and just go out and plink for a while. It does two things. Number one, it gives you a little out time. And number two, it enhances your shooting skills.
100%.
Like we talked about a while ago.
Yeah, that's 100% right. Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself. Boyd Metz of HSM Ammo, a full line. You can find it at Sportsman's Warehouse, Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's. Midway, another great partner of theirs. And you go online and check them out, HSM Ammo. But yeah, check them out. Boyd with HSM Ammo, thank you for joining me, as always.
Thanks, KJ. Good to be with you again. And
it's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. It's good to be seen, quite frankly. But all you folks out there, thank you for your support, and we apologize for our inability to fill all of your needs, but we're working at it.
They're working at it. HSM Ammo. We'll be back with more after these just breathers. We need to refresh ourselves. So NASGW 2021, Columbus, Ohio. We'll be back.
Thanks for watching Gun Talk Live. For more great gun content, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. You can always watch the Gun Talk channels on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon. And of course, you can always find us at guntalk.com. Thanks for watching.